Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Threezero Stranger Things 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today we are taking a look at none other than Lucas, based off his appearance in Season 1. We are so close to completing the main team of kids from Season 1, and I can't wait to put that display together in the collection. Now, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. As for the box art, I really like that they're keeping this box art consistent. So if you have all of the Stranger Things boxes lined up in the back of your display, it's going to make for a really nice backdrop. And I'm tempted to do that myself if only I had the space. In the middle, an image of Lucas on his bicycle. That's the actual actor with this filter over the top, not the figure. In the background, the Christmas tree lights and the letters, and of course the facility where they kept 11. Down below, Stranger Things in glossy red, Lucas Sinclair. Up top, Netflix, and Threezero. On the side of the box, the same stuff as the front. We've got that image spilling over the edge, Netflix, Stranger Things, Lucas Sinclair, Threezero, and also the Threezero hologram. Then, on the back of the box, an image of actual Lucas from the show, not 1/6 scale figure Lucas. Down below, all the warnings and legal info. Now, back around the front, you can flip open the top cover held in place by Velcro, and just like Dustin, peel off this piece of film, protecting the clear window. We do have said open window showcasing Lucas inside, and on the other side, an image of the actual figure. Like I said in the intro, we are so close to completing the core group of kids from Season 1. Max was in Season 2, and yes, we do need a lot of adults. We need Steve, we need Nancy, we need Jonathan, we need Joyce, we need Hopper, and a whole bunch more, but starting off with the kids, I mean, that's how the show started, so I think it's a pretty good place for Threezero to kick things off. First in-hand impressions of Lucas. It's actually looking really good. What we are going to do now, though, is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Normally, we'd start off with the display base first, but unfortunately, Lucas, he doesn't have one. And it's not because they don't have a Stranger Things display base in their rotation, their roster of accessories, they do. This one came with the Demogorgon. But aside from the Demogorgon, seems like none of the other Stranger Things figures are going to come with bases. So instead, let's start with the backpack. It's done in this blue ribbed fabric, kinda looks like corduroy, and all of these zippers, they're real and functional. There is some padding on the inside for both the front and the rear pockets, but you could always remove the padding and potentially pop some of his accessories inside the backpack. So then it actually becomes functional. The straps are adjustable and these clips are real, so you can unbuckle one side if you want to. And down below, this kind of feels like suede. A mainstay for Stranger Things is the walkie-talkie. Heck, in the later seasons, they still use these darn things to communicate, so I'm glad to see one here. Also, it's a completely different mold from Dustin's one, so it's not reuse. Now, the antenna is sticking up a little. There is a bunch of silver paint on the front dials and around the sides, plus a touch of dirt and grime around these buttons and on the dials as well. Now, we do have this rubbery strap around the back, and he does come with a hand specifically molded to hold the walkie-talkie. But getting it underneath this strap is not easy. I would suggest just heating up the hand first to make it a touch more pliable before trying to slide it on in. Lucas does come with his slingshot, and quite surprisingly, these silver pieces, they're made of real metal, which means it feels nice and weighty and it's super sturdy. Because if these were thin pieces of silver painted plastic, and you're trying to wrangle this in his hand constantly, yeah, it might have been a touch fragile. So I'm glad they went with metal. Then up top for this yellow section, it's a posable wire. Now unfortunately it's not stretchy because there's a metal wire on the inside, but then again, I actually like that it's posable, because when you have him in a certain pose pulling this at an angle, you can twist it around. A 2-for-1, we get some military accessories, first of which is a pair of binoculars that can open and close. Around the front, the lenses are clear and translucent plastic, and around the back, shiny red? Not sure why they went with red, but please, if you know, let me know down below. They are painted pretty well, green and some metallic gold, but no chipping around the edges and no dirt and grime really either. Then for his military flashlight, the front is a mirror finish, and this buckle isn't actually functional. And once again, no chipping or dry brushing or weathering whatsoever. These accessories, for me, look a touch clean. This next piece is so freaking tiny, it's positively microscopic. It's of course his compass. It's painted in silver and there is some dirt and grime on the back, and around the front, the face of the compass, I think they call it a face, is fully printed. Then over the top, a clear plastic lens to add a little bit of depth. And lastly, a full array of hands, ranging from closed fist to slingshot holding hands to open palm hands, and these walkie-talkie gripping hands as well. Plus, we have already seen most of these with Dustin. The sculpts are good, there is a decent level of skin texture, the fingernails are fully sculpted, and the skin tone matches the head sculpt. What we are going to do now, though, is get Lucas himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. The number one most important question when talking about any 1/6 scale figure is, does it look like the character? And for Lucas, it's a resounding yes. That is absolutely Lucas standing in front of me from Season 1 of Stranger Things. The proportions on the body, tall but lanky, yep, gets a tick from me. The outfit over the top of the body is vibrant and accurate to the show, another tick. And that head sculpt, it's undeniably Lucas. Now, there are still things we need to discuss on pretty much all of those points, but for now, yeah, this guy does stand a chance of potentially being my new favourite Stranger Things figure. Up close and personal, kicking things off with Lucas's head sculpt. I really like this head sculpt, but I'm not trying to tell you it's perfect, because it isn't. From certain angles, you do start to lose the likeness, and it's stronger than others, which will bother some people. Not me, though. The expression is kind of disinterested looking, but it's more versatile than you might think. With a little bit of a head tilt, he looks sassy with those pouty lips and disinterested looking eyes like, come on, impress me. And if you tilt it down, he looks sad, so depending on the angle, once again, you can absolutely make this head sculpt work for you. The skin texture is super soft and subtle, but he's a young lad. That totally makes sense in Season 1. These guys and gals were young, they didn't have wrinkles and frown lines and moles and crow's feet, so Threezero didn't have a ton to work with when it came to surface detail for the head sculpts. There is, however, a little bit of shading. The eyes are nicely painted, and his lips a touch glossy. Now up top, the hair is quite well sculpted, and there's a ton of texture to it, plus he's wearing this camo headband, and yes, it is removable. Now, for me, I prefer it on. It just ties the look together. He's got the military-looking belt. This headband absolutely works. But if you wanted to take it off to make him a little bit less militarized, you totally can. Luckily, they made that out of fabric, and it is tied at the back, because if it was sculpted out of rubbery plastic, you're sliding it on and off a bunch of times, it might have damaged the paint applications. Fabric for that piece, definitely the way to go. Now this guy, pretty much from head to toe, including the backpack, is all corduroy, which is so late 70s to early 80s. I love the way this looks for Lucas. The backpack is a proper backpack like we discussed earlier, so you can store his accessories inside if you want to. So when you want to change a pose, open up the backpack, grab an accessory, close it up, you don't have to go fishing around for the box. The jacket is fully lined on the inside with this kind of sheepskin feeling material. Then the outside, corduroy. Now it's not actual corduroy, in 1/6 scale they've used something else, but the effect is there, it definitely looks the part. He does have a shirt underneath with multiple different panels that you never actually normally see, because with the jacket on, it's entirely hidden. He also has this military style belt, which probably could be removed if you wanted to. There's a buckle around the back. Once again though, I like the military style outfit because it's something different. Dustin is wearing normal clothes, 11 is in her dress, at least in my collection. So having the military stuff just makes him stand out, including his military-style watch, which I almost missed. Now, you do have to slide up the sleeve and it will drop down to present itself. Yeah, the watch looks cool. We've got a fully printed face, and the rest of it is painted in military/olive drab green. Coming down to his pants, a couple of things to note. Number one, real working pockets, so you can pop his hand in there or other accessories. Number two, they look like brown corduroy, and there is some weathering down the bottom that ties into the shoes. We will get there. And number three, they are quite ill-fitting and baggy, but I can totally see the conversation with Lucas's parents. Come on, they don't fit me. And the parents would say, no, Lucas, don't worry, son, you'll grow into them. Plus, having that excess fabric, it's not a bad thing, because when you bend his knee in a running pose or riding a bicycle perhaps, they only go up a touch, but even when they do, you've got some fabric socks anyway, so this doesn't bother me. Then for the shoes, they are sculpted beautifully. They've got some laces, there's some texture around the front, and they look like old worn out shoes. We've got wrinkling and buckling, and they're quite dirty and grimy. Plus, like I said, the pants are too, so it ties the entire look together. Then on the underside, some fully sculpted and weathered tread. For a quick side-by-side comparison, this makes me so happy seeing these kids and Demogorgon, of course, can't forget him, coming to life in 1/6 scale. In the front row, we have Dustin, we have Lucas and 11, and the colours with the outfits, especially now that we have Lucas in the orange, it is such a vibrant collection. Seeing these guys and gals standing together, it is absolutely going to pop. Lucas is a little bit shorter than Dustin, but taller than 11. And then Demogorgon, he's bigger than everyone, exactly as he should be. Going over articulation, if you've seen the Dustin review and the 11 review, you kind of know what to expect because the body is very similar. It's pretty much a shrunk down 1/6 scale true type body in kid size. Starting off with the head sculpt, it's on a fixed neck with a ball joint at the bottom, looking forward and back, but when you go too far back, it does expose the bottom of the neck connector. You have two options. You can either move the shirt up to compensate or tilt the head forward just a little. Swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up to there. They will go forward and back. Butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep. Double bend at the elbow, going the full way. And of course a hinge and swivel for the wrist peg. The torso crunches forward and back with no padding, swivel and pivot. The legs will go forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee going past 90, and of course a double ball peg for the ankle. Good for forward and back, swivel, and also pivot side to side. Wrapping up on Lucas Sinclair by Threezero from Stranger Things Season 1, a show that I absolutely adore. And yeah, my new favourite Stranger Things figure in 1/6 scale. Yeah, even more so than Demogorgon. I love Demogorgon, but it's a big hunk of rubber and it's kinda hard to work with, plus his colour scheme not super accurate to the show. Whereas Lucas is super accurate to the show. I love the array of accessories, the proportions look spot on, I think the posability is more than serviceable thanks to the fabric outfit, and that outfit is super vibrant, so in the display he's absolutely going to stand out alongside the other kids. Then the icing on the cake, that head sculpt, I love it. Some people may not, that's absolutely fine. My job isn't to tell you what to and not to buy, it's just simply to show you the figure so you can make up your own mind. In fact, you don't have to agree with me at all. I literally could not care less if you pick this guy up for your collection. I just care that Threezero made him and they're filling out this line, and this guy is another super solid entry. Now, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.